listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a Doggy Dog World is brought to you by Pet Care RX, America's most affordable pet pharmacy. Pet Care RX offers the same meds as top vets, but with a savings up to 50%. And if you find a lower price on a certified EPA and FDA-approved medication, Pet Care RX will match that price. So go to petcarerx.com. Use promo code DOGWORLD10. DOGWORLD, the number 10, and receive $10 off orders of $50 or more.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert, and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, and with me are my good friends Petra Burke. Hello. And Kate Abbott.
Howdy.
And today we're going to talk about Christmas and New Year holidays and your dog, and you and your family. There's a lot of challenges around the holidays. So we'll talk about both of those, Christmas and New Year's, and how to make your dog a part of it. We don't want you to isolate him for the whole time. But first, a couple new things. Kindred Spirits Dog Training, our dog training business here in Southern California, is up on Facebook. If you'd like to join us, just do a search on Facebook for Kindred Spirits Dog Training. We'd be happy to have you join us. Also,
post something on the wall. Is that what it's called, the wall?
Yes, that's
or comment or so, yeah. So,
okay.
I know. Kate
say
is
hi.
Still trying to figure it out.
Just come up on our wall and say hi.
Come right on our wall.
Become our fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those of you in the Southeast, or if you'd like an excuse to go to Orlando, Florida, Disney World and all of that, at the end of March, 25th through 27th, the three of us are going to be at the Global Pet Expo, which we absolutely love. The Global Pet Expo showcases all the stuff that's coming up in the future, new supplies, dog foods, toys, anything, dog clothes, anything that's coming up with dogs, well, and actually any pets, but primarily dogs and cats. So that'll be March 25th through 27th. You can look for us in the Pet Life Radio booth on Friday afternoon. We'll be there. Petra and Kate are going to make me sign books, so I'll have some of my books there. Yep. And we'll be talking about our podcast here on It's a Doggy Dog World. So mark those two things down. We'd love to see you. But right now, take a listen for one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
It's a Doggy Dog World is brought to you by Petco.com. Petco is a leading specialty retailer of premium pet food supplies and services, offering more than 10,000 high-quality pet-related products. Enter the code DOGGY10, DOGGY, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at Petco.com.
There's a movement afoot. ShoeBuy.com. Join the millions of people who shop ShoeBuy.com's over 400 brands and 500,000 products. Order now and get free shipping and free return shipping. ShoeBuy.com, the world's greatest shoe store.
Walk your dog in style and comfort. Enter the code DOGGY, DOGGY, at checkout and get a 10% discount plus free shipping at ShoeBuy.com.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to petmeds.com/world, WORLD, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at petmeds.com.
Hello! I'm Deborah Wolf, and I'm inviting you to my animal party on Pet Life Radio. The dress code? Come as you are. Pajamas, a tux. You can even go naked like your pets. Unleash your party animal at my animal party. Guests you know from Animal Planet, TV, radio, the news, and bookstores will be joining me. And that's because after I won Best Pet Radio in America from the DWAA, I got my paw in the door and I met a lot of amazing people. And the best of the best are going to be coming to the party. They're coming to party with us. So join us at the animal party. Don't miss the party.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. Today, Kate, Petra, and I want to talk a little bit about the holidays. I know in my household, my husband and I make the dogs a part of Christmas. We wrap gifts for them under the tree, and of course they're not allowed to steal them ahead of time. They have to leave them until Christmas, until we open the presents. But we don't isolate the dogs. But of course I take some precautions too. We put our tree up on a table. It's a full-size tree. I've got a high ceiling, but it's up on a table. I don't put it down so that the breakable glass balls are right in front of the dogs' noses or the kitties. And I don't have holly or mistletoe that can be poisonous to dogs, the berries. So we take precautions, but I like to have the dogs a part of the holidays.
Oh, definitely.
Use garland instead of tinsel.
Definitely.
Or actually, you don't even use garland or tinsel. I just put poinsettia, just the flower, white and red, throughout the tree.
The little silk ones?
Yeah. How artsy.
I know.
She stole it from me.
Yep.
But it works.
And it looks great. And then I don't put any glass ornaments on there. It's all homemade or wood ones or, kind of country kind of ornaments. And ours is on the floor. It's on the ground. So it really is nothing than probably the first foot.
Well, Teddy's tail reaches higher than that.
Well, luckily he doesn't, because, his arthritis, he doesn't put it up very high.
Oh.
We're okay. So he just hits the bottom.
I still love my friends that used to suspend theirs from the ceiling. It just floated in the air.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but it just seems kind of bizarre. I'd rather put it on a table and then, put a pretty Christmas tablecloth over the table. And
They didn't even have dogs. They just had the Siamese cats.
Well, Siamese cats, perhaps that's a good idea to suspend.
Yeah.
But Siamese cat could probably jump and grab it.
Anyway, it was always interesting to see that floating tree.
Yeah. But there's some things you should keep in mind with the tree, whether it be on a tabletop, suspended, or on the floor. When my husband and I were first married, we had a German Shepherd puppy, and he crunched a couple of the glass balls. And on our vet's recommendation, we fed him a couple of loaves of bread with some vegetable oil for a couple of days, just in case anything had been swallowed. And he turned out to be fine. I think he just crunched it and spit it out. But, we were panic-stricken.
Oh, yeah.
Glass pieces going down his intestinal tract could have easily killed him. So keeping the tree safe is very important. And Petra's idea of unbreakable ornaments or putting the glass ones out of reach is very important.
Exactly.
But the lights also.
Oh, yeah. I think right now, so we have the puppy. So this is Benji's first Christmas.
Okay, but he's a pom. How high can he jump?
But he could chew wires.
Well, he can chew wires, that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
He could chew wires.
So we have a spray bottle handy.
He is like a little gerbil.
Yeah, he is. But you know what he was, I think, amazed initially, sat there and just looked at this tree. And I'm just thinking, good thing you're little, because you can't do much damage to it. But if any time he got too close, he learned to leave it. So it was like a squirt and a leave it, and he's been really good.
And then there's the idea, too, tucking those wires away. Don't leave them dangling.
Yeah.
You know, tuck them away so they're not as obvious to the dog or the puppy. Or, it's a doggy dog world, but many of us have cats. I remember the first Christmas after we got the orange cats.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had set up the tree, and luckily hadn't put any ornaments on it right away. And walked out into the living room, and about face height, here was this little orange face going, "Hi! Thank you for bringing me this new cat tree."
Yeah, I remember my cats when the kittens did that. Now they like to sleep under it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cute. They're all curled up, and they're under the tree sleeping. It's
Okay.
the funniest thing. Hey, it's not in the tree.
It's not in the tree.
We're good.
So look at your critters in your house and figure out what you need to do for those critters.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the
Keep 'em
suggestions we bring up to classes, get a nice little lattice or a little white picket fence or something and kind of put it around the tree. Or if your tree's in a corner, you can just put
Make it an off-limit area.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
about a week or so ago, I had gone to one of the big discount hardware stores, I won't name names, and had looked around, and they had nice little picket fences, not the little bitty 12-inch ones, because that wouldn't keep many dogs out. I think even Benji could get over that.
Yeah, probably.
But a little bit taller, very nice, white. They had plastic and wood, and you could buy them in sections. And so if, like Kate says, your tree is in a quarter, you just got 3 or 4 sections, fenced it off. You could decorate that with garland or a wreath or something. It could look very Christmassy.
Oh, yeah.
Look very decorative, and yet still protect your tree and your dog.
And your presents, because
And
you
your
know
presents.
you may know better than to put chocolate wrapped in gift wrapped chocolate under your tree.
Right.
Sure.
What if somebody gives you a present you don't know there's chocolate in it?
And
Yeah,
chocolate's
exactly.
You
poisonous
stick
to
it
your
under
dog.
the tree.
Yep.
Or whatever else is under there. They may put mistletoe on the box as decoration.
Sure.
Whatever, you know. Just and you don't want the dogs. Although when I was a kid, I did sneak out in the middle of the night and got my dog to chew on a couple of my presents, so I could peek inside and see what there was in there. And
That
then he
doesn't
was
mean the
one that got
children
blamed.
out there listen to what Kate's doing. No peeking.
No, because now you'd be busted. But you don't want your dog chewing up your presents before you get them.
Yeah, I have to admit, I never tried that. Of course, the dogs were all toy poodles and were my mom, so the cats were mine.
What are you talking about? That was a Pekingese I'm talking about. And he went to it with gusto.
Okay, I will say, they were my moms.
Okay.
They would have squealed on me.
Fufu, bless his heart, he chewed just the corner as I told him to.
Oh. Now, on Christmas morning, my husband and I do let the dogs open their own presents. I mean, that's part of the fun. And it's fun teaching a puppy how to do it. Bashir and Riker, having lived through several Christmases, know it well. Here, this is yours. Get it. Rah! Last year, we handed one to Archer, and he just kind of looked at me. Am I going to get in trouble?
It's a setup.
Are you setting me up to get in trouble? I'm not supposed to chew stuff. But once we ripped the paper a little bit, then he got into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, I do the same thing. Each will get a little bone and I'll wrap it in like brown paper bag stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know?
Or
go for
a
it.
Planet Dog Orby toy. That is a free commercial. My dogs love the Planet Dog toys, so they always get some for Christmas. And they know the scent of those balls.
Since I ordered all that they had left of that certain model that's Walter's cocaine, I could give him one a year for the next 24 years.
You mean you're going through them that slowly?
Oh, yeah. Oh, they last a long time. Oh, we haven't even opened. We're still in our first box.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no. They're wonderful toys. Planet Dog. Check out their website. But you can't have the red orb,
Ring.
what's it called? The red ring?
Well, it's a red ball with a white
ring.
or...
Two white rings.
Yes.
Whatever they call that model, you can't have them anymore because they're not making them, and I bought the last of them, so there.
She bought the last 2 cases. A little bit selfish she is, but they were Walter's favorite toys.
For my boy.
Let's talk about guests. What happened when guests come to the house?
Oh, gosh.
Well, first of all, you put out all the snacks and the chocolate and the nuts and the cookies, and you put them out on the coffee table.
And
then
then teach your nose level. Or
And teach your dog, leave it.
Right.
Have your dog on leash and collar.
Uh-huh.
And definitely on leash and collar before the guests come in. Unless it's absolutely pouring or blizzarding. Hold on a second, let me leash the dog.
Yeah, exactly. They know downstays, downstay. Give them a blanket, their bed, whatever.
Because dogs can become addicted to eggnog, just like humans.
And how do you know that?
Yeah, really, share that story, Kate.
It was in my youth, and
You did a lot of stuff in your
I
youth.
did a lot of stuff in my youth.
I almost regret I didn't know you then. We did almost cross paths in Lompoc.
And the same dog that decided he really liked eggnog and would go for it whenever given a chance, then was introduced to spiked eggnog.
Oh!
Yeah, it was a beagle. We all laughed hysterically, but it wasn't a pretty sight. No.
Dear ASPCA, she does not do that anymore.
And I wasn't the parent at that time. Yes.
But really, keeping the dog on a leash when the guests come in is the easiest way to help enforce your dog's manners. Because the holidays get exciting and people want to pet your dog and perhaps pet him too much or love him too much or give him too many treats.
And then if you have a lot of people, and your house is full and everybody is in the spirit and you got
That's
kids,
a good way of putting it.
Thanks. And kids running around, it could be overstimulating for the dog.
Put your dog in the back.
And it's fine to put him away. Put him in a
I have a
crate.
Christmas party
That's
every year
fine.
with all our dog friends, and my dogs are not at the party. The dogs are in the back. Except for the one year someone asked to see Riker, and he helped himself to the Christmas cookies.
Ah, yes.
Very well-trained older dog. He got into the
I
spirit.
got so excited.
He got into the spirit of the party and got overstimulated. And all of a sudden, his face was in the bowl of sugar cookies, and he was inhaling those cookies.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody said to hey, have some cookies. And he went, yes, thank you, I will. He took it as permission.
So even the dog trainer's dog can get overstimulated and get in trouble.
And the thing is, I was there earlier. Those cookies were in the same spot. Liz and I were prepping up the house and everything. Riker was there. He never
didn't-
looked at it.
Never touched him.
Nope.
But with all the people there and all the people spoiling him and loving him, he went, ha-ha, freebie.
He took it one step further.
Now, the worst case is your dog eats some cookies and it's an embarrassment in front of your family or in company. But next is they get too much, and then Christmas with a dog with diarrhea is not fun.
And the emergency vet clinic on Christmas is expensive.
And not the way you want to spend your holiday.
Right.
Your time or your money.
And you don't want your dog to be feeling bad.
So if your guests want to give them a little here, it's just a little piece of ham or a little piece of turkey. No.
Yeah.
That little piece and little one
15,
and one more. Oh, and 10 more
15,
and on
22
and on.
later, yeah.
Yeah.
They go home.
Yeah.
The guests go home. You got to deal with the dog.
Yep.
So leftovers, the food you put out, be careful. The leftovers.
You can take a little chicken or turkey and shred it and put it on their food later, but just a little bit, and no gravy, and no sweet potatoes with no candied sweet potatoes.
Well, I was thinking more about, how you fall into the food coma
Oh, yes.
after you eat, and then everybody walks away and leaves the plates still there.
Yes, let's not leave the plates there with the dog.
Right. Or not leave the dog with the plates. One or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can share some leftovers with the dog if you wish later, but do it in his food bowl and do it wisely.
Yep.
A little bit of shredded chicken or turkey's not going to hurt, but no candied yams, no pumpkin pie or apple pie. Let's avoid the spicy things
Yeah.
and the sugary things.
Like I said, guests go home. You got to deal with the dog.
Right.
An awful image Christmas morning.
All
There's
right.
a package or a present for you. It's not the unwrappable kind.
Oh, that's just so bad. On that note, we're going to take a break for our sponsors, but we promise we'll be less gross when we come back. When we come back, we'll talk about New Year's. So take a break, listen to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
sit, stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
FTD's network of over 40,000 florists around the world have been creating beautiful handcrafted arrangements for 100 years. Each arrangement is delivered the same day and backed by FTD's 7-day satisfaction guarantee. For a century, people have trusted their most important occasions to the flower experts at FTD.
Since Pet Life Radio is all about puppy dogs and flowers, our listeners, that's you, can get a 20% discount on your order. Just go to fleurop.com and use the code DOGGYDOG at checkout. FLEUROP.com. Code word DOGGYDOG.
Hello? Danica, where have you been?
Oh, Grandma, I've been busy, racing, GoDaddy girl.
Oh, I built my own online store with GoDaddy.
Really? Let me see. Grandma'sAuction.com. Hey, aren't those Grandpa's golf clubs?
Grandma needs her bingo money.
Use promo code DOGGY10, DOGGY, the number 10, and get a .com domain name for just $7.49 at GoDaddy.com. If you ask the question, what do I want? What do I need? I'll take affection. I really should mention I need time, I need love, I crave attention. There's a new waiting by the door, with shaking tails and happy hearts, and running circles round the floor. That's always when the party starts. They are my friends, they are my children, they are the furry.
My Pets, the new single by Mark Winter, available on iTunes.
New York, the glitz, the glamour, the exciting Mutt-tropolis, the sparkling kitty city that never sleeps. Join us each week for Pets in the City with your host, Diane West. Celebrity pet sightings, hot events, and news and reviews with the hottest movers, shakers, and tail waggers in New York. So take a bite out of the Big Apple with Pets in the City. Every week, on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. In this podcast, we're talking about the upcoming holidays, Christmas and New Year's. The Christmas, we talked about the tree safety, getting your dog involved, a variety of different things. Now let's talk about New Year's. The first thing with New Year's, Kate and I get worried about, we both each have a sound-sensitive dog. And New Year's is when people get, well, to be perfectly honest, idiotic.
And New Year's and 4th of July.
Yeah.
Things start popping around,
Gunfire in the air, firecrackers.
Yep.
I know Riker and my Riker and your Walter are both sensitive to those types of sounds. And we've got to take care.
And I live on the edge of a wide valley in which the city of Vista lives. And it seems like any firecracker anywhere within 30 miles echoes throughout the valley, and we hear it where I live. It's just...
I'm a little more protected, but we also get the noise from Camp Pendleton. Luckily, Riker can handle that pretty well. It's funny, he can hear artillery on Pendleton and not react, but gunfire in the neighborhood, and he does.
So anything over 50
50 millimeter.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cannon. Cannon's okay. Guns
Bombs are fine. 500-pound bombs. Boom. That's okay.
but not pop-up.
Yeah.
But yeah. At least at 4th of July, I think most of them are firecrackers. Who started the idea of shooting off guns on January 1st?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Someone who did not understand physics. What goes up must come down.
Bullets do come down. And the
exactly.
That's and the Mythbusters, one of my favorite shows, the Mythbusters proved it. They talked to some doctors whose patients had been killed by bullets coming back down.
Yeah.
So they do come back down. They don't disappear up in the air.
Yeah.
No, I know.
A very sweet friend of mine, an older woman with white hair, just a sweet look, came out on the 2nd of January to find a bullet hole in the middle of her hood. So somebody had shot straight up and it came straight down.
Oh, jeez.
And the bullet was in her engine.
Well, at least it was in her car.
At least in her car. That's what I think. If she'd been out walking around or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now,
had nothing to do with dogs, but that just terrified me.
Now, to handle the dogs when they're fearful, if you have a sound-sensitive dog, I did find with Riker that giving him acepromazine wasn't as effective as I'd hoped. When he started to lose a little control, I think he got even more scared. But I did find that swaddling him helped. I put him up on the couch. My dogs are allowed on the couch. In the corner of our L-shaped couch, where he likes to lay, and I took some nice soft blankets and I wrapped him up tight. I wrapped him up tight and just leaving his face showing, and he was perfectly fine. He actually spent the last 4th of July fine. He didn't move for about 3 hours, I think, until his bladder was killing him. But he handled it just fine. So I'm going to do that again this coming New Year's. And
calming wraps, you can even buy them for dogs.
Well, that was where I had thought about it, is I had read about calming wraps, but instead of buying it, I just did it myself with blankets that are normally on the couch, something familiar. And he usually nests in those anyway. So, and that worked very, very well. What do you do for Walter?
I found a CD of thunderstorms and fireworks. And I've been actually using it to desensitize him.
And how do you think it's been working?
He did. He handled 4th of July a lot better. He didn't get as much of it because we went for a drive.
Oh, okay.
But the early
we had the last...
the thunderstorms.
Yeah, we had the thunderstorms last week.
Right, and he did much better, much better. He was like, okay, something's going on. But he did not panic. He did not run and hide behind the toilet. He did not just totally shake out of his skin.
No, that's good.
He was a little... But I think he is starting to get used to the idea.
And I swaddled Riker during our thunderstorms, too, last week. The first rumble I heard when he started looking around anxiously, I went, okay, come here, here's your blanket.
Yeah. My guys just they were outside and wanted to come in, let them in. Each got chew bone, TV was on.
Well, that's the interesting thing. My other two don't care.
Yeah.
Right. They sleep through. No problem.
Well, that's the good part. He hasn't taught it to them. It's
yes,
the older boy.
Yes, exactly.
But what else happens on New Year's is often a lot of partying.
Yep.
And again, that same little beagle also loved beer. God. It was my dad's dog, okay?
And I'll have to admit, my grandfather liked creme de menthe. And he shared it with us kids and his wife's dog. She had miniature poodles or schnauzers, depending on the era. And I can remember as a kid, Grandpa calling me over and saying, here, you want a taste? And my mother hollering, Dad, don't you dare! But he'd give it to us anyway. And then he'd give it to... Grandma's had a white miniature poodle. And when she'd drink the Fifi, of course, when she'd drink the creme de menthe, she would have little green speckles on her beard. And Grandpa was never wise enough to wipe her beard, or he just liked messing with Grandma. I don't know, because I could hear her hollering. They had a 3-story house, old-fashioned 3-story house in New England, and I could hear her hollering, Roland, when she was mad at him.
Can hear all 3 stories.
Well, see, that's why we can always hear Liz.
Yeah, it's a family tradition.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I do take after my grandma, and I've been proud of it. So,
Especially for the little guys, it wouldn't take a whole lot for alcohol toxicity for them.
I have to admit, I don't remember the dogs ever getting sick or anything. I don't think he allowed them much, but it was still too much.
I'm just thinking a party, people putting their glasses down, and dog gets a little sample here, a little sample there.
Yeah, it can add up. And again, you end up with a sick dog on a holiday at the emergency vet.
And again, when after everybody went home.
Yeah. And then, too, the rest of the party stuff that we talked about with Christmas, the food, the goodies, the candy, the
excitement,
the sweets, too many people in the house.
And if you go out and party on New Year's, leave your dog safe at home.
Well, it's like 4th of July and New Year's Eve. I dread driving anywhere because it's when
as Paul says, it's amateur night.
Yeah, it's when you find so many dogs hit and killed by vehicles or lost wandering
because
the roads.
They've panicked. Yeah. If you do leave your dog at home and you have any idea whatsoever that he might be sound sensitive, leave him in a safe place, a closed up room.
That lady that called and wanted to talk to me about it, so her full-grown German Shepherd was left alone for the first time on a 4th of July because they had taken the kids to go watch the fireworks.
Gosh, probably developed horrible
the damage that dog did to herself and the front door.
Panic.
In trying to get out.
And probably developed a horrible case of separation anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But just really hurt herself.
Well, you've got a big, powerful dog who's panicked.
Yeah,
and with some dogs,
it's tough on those because even if that dog is that panicked, you can't really say a crate's going to work because how many horror stories do we hear that break out of the crates? Right. Tearing the wires or
breaking their teeth.
Yeah.
Tearing out their claws.
Yeah.
In situations like that, you actually might want to talk to your veterinarian about a tranquilizer.
Yep.
And I'm not a big fan of drugging the dogs, but that's better.
Severe case like that, safer.
It's better than the dog panicking. Yeah. Paul and I used to do the New Year's thing, but we stay home now. It's safer that way.
Oh, yeah.
It's between the drunks on the road and our dogs at home wanting to keep them safe. We just stay home. We party other nights.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're not really fuddy-duddies. We're just reasonable. Same thing same.
Yes. Hey, we party.
Yes. We all had our days in the past.
We still have. We still have Christmas parties.
Exactly.
Now, let's go on to the next part of New Year's. How about New Year's resolutions? I will say, I think I have done pretty well on mine from last year. I said that I was going to tame the dragon, and I think I've done a pretty good job
actually. She has.
Of taming the dragon.
She really has.
Yeah.
The dragons come out once or twice, but I've really been working on...
But there has been no statement saying, well, I can't help it, you're stupid.
Yep, you're right.
That has not came up.
We don't have a new quote for this year.
No, she's been so good.
But I will say that Kate and Pedro have let the dragon out a few times. Apparently somebody has to let the dragon out.
Well, I repeat, as I think I said last year, I said that there is a need for a dragon on occasion.
Uh-huh. But unfortunately, I was getting too much of a reputation of being the dragon lady.
So it's just as well that we're sharing the dragon.
There we go.
That's very true. I like that.
I personally feel like it's been a good trait to learn, to be able to unleash a dragon occasionally.
The dragon can be useful. And the dragon, by the way, for those of you who haven't listened to previous podcasts, is...
righteous anger and indignation.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Is pulling out the dragon.
I think a few times, I think the most recent...
saying what needs to be said.
And lately, Liz will be there talking to our students, explaining the problems in a very nice way, politically correct. And there's times I'm standing there, I'm like, well, you've got a problem. Turn around and walk away. And then I kind of walk away and I'm like, wait a minute, she's back there explaining that. Kind of like, almost like a
switch roles.
Yeah, I know you're stupid. I'm not wasting my breath on you. There's some people you just get to that point. I walk away, Liz is just talking.
So that was my New Year's resolution last year. So I have to think about this year's. I know I want to do more trick training with Bashir and Archer. I want to teach Archer to pull the cart in a team with Bashir. So those are two training goals I have for the boys. And I want to do more of the trick training because They both love it. They absolutely love it. Archer still needs some more seasoning on his basic commands. He tries to throw tricks in with everything. If you want me to sit, I can sit and sneeze. I can sit and back up and play dead. I can sit, but I have to follow it with something else. So he still needs some seasoning on that, but he's still very puppy brain.
Yeah.
But I want to do some more trick training, and then I want to do carting. They're both doing well on Therapy Dog. Archer is doing absolutely awesome on Therapy Dog. I had a feeling when he was young that he'd be a good therapy dog, and he's visiting the VA centers, and when my mom was in a nursing home, he visited there, and he's visiting a senior daycare, and he's doing absolutely awesome. So I'm real pleased with that.
He's a hail fellow well met. He likes...
Oh, yeah. He's a nice combination of Riker and Bashir. Bashir's a little too dignified and standoffish, although he's mellowed a lot. And Riker is, I must love you. So Archer's in the middle.
He is.
So Kate, how about you for New Year's?
I haven't really thought of it.
I'm just thinking, did we actually record last year's? Does that mean I have to go look them up? And because I don't remember them.
Yes, we did record them.
Oh dear.
Okay, Kate.
I need some research before I can say if I've accomplished them because I can't remember.
Okay, so if you can't remember, what are you thinking about for this year? What do you want to do with Walter? Or do you want to add a new puppy to the household?
I keep thinking
you and your puppy fever.
You need to.
Well, Walter's 5.
Yeah.
And
you
Gina's
need a good
older.
Trick, and you need a trick dog.
You need a dog coming up.
You know,
what was that?
Stutter, stutter, stutter.
I'm getting disenchanted. All of the casting calls lately for the last 6 months that I might even have been interested in were like, we need a dog that can roll over. Check, you can do that. They spin in each direction. Check, you can do that.
But then they wanted the one that...
But then they wanted him to mount somebody's leg and pretend to hump it. I'm like, no, I'm not teaching that.
I don't know why that is so fascinating to people to put in movies.
And the dog
like,
just sit on his butt and scoot like he's got worms or
like
impacted anal glands. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was for a carpet cleaning company. But still...
How about muddy paws?
Nothing
muddy
that I
paws
want to teach, though,
yeah.
you know? So,
yeah.
A little disenchanted.
But still, you could have a ginger.
Yeah.
That's my mother's cockapoo, by the way.
I loved it. After spending a little over about 10 days taking care of Ginger while her mom was... Now, granted, Ginger is a adolescent cockapoo.
Yes, she is. She's right smack in the middle of adolescence.
But after turning her to her mother's...
Yes.
Liz came in the next day, sat down, looked at Walter, my cockapoo,
and
said, I've been thinking about it, and I've decided that cockapoos are the most emotional breed mix of dogs that I have ever met in my life. And
yes, they are.
And I said, welcome to my last 6 years.
They are very emotional dogs. God. Yes, they are. They have the intelligence and the brightness of the poodle and the emotional character of Cocker Spaniels.
Funny.
Yeah, Ginger is so emotional. Very bright. And she came a long way in a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. But yes, very emotional. Things that the Aussies just shake off. She would go, you don't love me anymore. But of course, after, spending that much time with me, my guys were starting to get emotional.
I mean, I'm now really enjoying Walter, but it was a good 3 years of...
You can always get You can also get an Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get a palm. Anyway, they're full of.
They're full of it.
Full of it.
No, we're getting off track. Petra, what about your New Year's resolutions?
Oh God, survive a teenager.
Oh.
No, that's not dog. That's daughter. That's her daughter.
My dogs are my therapy.
Her daughter just turned last week 17.
Yeah. I don't know. Haven't really thought about it.
I would like this year to start informally working on the dancing with dogs, the freestyle dancing.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
yeah.
I've got some interested students, and we could all just kind of work on it together.
Well, if we're looking at goals for Kindred Spirits, yes, and I want to start the rally again. We started rally years ago when it was brand new, and there wasn't enough interest in it, so we quit. And now more people are interested, so I'd like to bring the rally back.
Flyball.
Flyball. Thanks.
I always say
that
Dad,
just
she
flew out of
always
my
says rally,
head.
and you always
I
say fly ball.
Yep.
So this is the year. We should work on all three of those.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. I think a lot of our students would, and we have enough students that have been through basic and intermediate and are just itching to try new things.
Yes.
And it's a wonderful way to keep them involved with their dogs.
Actually, somebody asked the other day if we were going to start doing advanced.
We probably should.
Yeah.
We probably should.
We've had enough intermediates now.
Yeah. And advanced training is a lot of fun. We could really have a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
I've got
Wow.
puzzle games already.
You've got what?
The puzzle games.
Oh, yeah.
Directed retreats.
Sure.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Well, that's our New Year's resolution for the training.
Which is what our life is all about. We are solely dedicated to training of dogs and people.
Hey, well, at least we're not out on a street corner with a beer bottle.
Exactly.
Sharing it with the beagle.
Okay, on that note, I think we gotta call it quits. So, don't forget, look us up on Facebook, Kindred Spirits Dog Training, and join us there. And for those of you in the Southeast, or those of you who need an excuse for a vacation at Disney World, we're going to be at the Global Pet Expo in Orlando on March 25th and 26th. We'd love to meet you there. And that's it from us.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.